Hello and welcome everybody. In this video we are going to discuss a brief overview of the Mahabharata translated by J.A.B. Van Deutenen, and it has been edited by Kanan Gupta and Meha Pandey. So this is a prequel to the Dai Singh taken from the Sabha Parva. The core story of the Mahabharata is based on a succession feud, and this goes with Shantanu, who begets three sons. He belongs to the Bharata dynasty, and he has Devabrata, whom we know as Bhishma, as the son of Shantanu and Ganga. With Satyavati, he has got two sons, Chitrangada and Vichitravirya. Chitrangada leaves no heirs, he dies unmarried, and Vichitravirya, he marries two sisters, Ambika and Ambalika. Unfortunately, Vichitravirya dies childless. Then Vichitravirya's mother, Satyavati, she beckons for her illegitimate son with Parashara, sage Parashara, Krishna Dvepayana Vyasa. Miraculously, he fathers with Ambika the blind Dhritarashtra, and he fathers with Ambika the weak and fragile health baby Pandu. Vyasa also begets Vidura, but Vidura's mother is unrevealed in the original text. So it is Dhritarashtra who gives birth with Gandhari, Duryodhana, and the 100 Kauravas as we popularly know. Pandu marries Kunti and Madri. With Kunti, he has three sons. We all know who they are: Yudhishthira, Arjuna, Bhima, and with Madri, two sons, Nakul and Sahadev. As we can see in the picture, it is the sign of the Palace of Illusions, which was specially designed by Vishwakarma as requested by Krishna for the Pandavas. There are a lot of twists and turns in the epic story, but as we can see in the picture, this is the game of dice in Mahabharata, where very cleverly Shakuni and Duryodhana plans to invite through Dhritarashtra Yudhishthira after he's going to be the king, he's going to be anointed as the king, so they invite him for the game of dicing, and one by one Yudhishthira loses everything, even his wife and his brothers, his property, everything. So this is how a plan it is conspired against the Pandavas. We cannot blame Duryodhana because he was trained since his childhood, instigated against his cousins, against his cousin brothers, the Pandavas. So wickedness was there, but it cannot be blamed solely on Duryodhana. In this picture, we get a glimpse of how Panchali or Draupadi is disrobed by Dusashana, who is the younger brother of Duryodhana, and how she is provided to cover herself by her brother Lord Krishna. What is painful in this particular scenario is how the elders are looking at a woman getting disrobed and teased. Nevertheless, Draupadi is a strong character. It is she who asks for the boons. She is provided 3 boons by King Dhritarashtra, and she only she asks for only 2 boons out of 3. One is the release and the freedom of her husbands, the Pandavas. First is the Yudhishthira, and second is the brothers. Now we need to look upon the narrative structure of this particular epic, because it has 3-part frame narrative. Now, what does it consist of? 3-part. So we have at the core the authorial frame narrative, then We have the generational frame narrative, and the cosmological is in the outer concentric circle, cosmological frame narrative. The authorial or the core frame narrative is between Vyasa, who recites the story to his 5 disciples, including his son Suka. The generational frame narrative is between Janamejaya, who is the great grandson of the Pandavas and is at a snake sacrifice at which he listens to the story of his ancestors from Vesampayana. He hears this story in the first from the mouth of Vyasa. Then we have the cosmological frame narrative, which happens in the Naimisa forest, where the rishis of the forest hear the story from the bard Ugrasravas, who had himself heard it at Janamajaya's snake sacrifice. Thank you so much for listening.